Sometimes, the most familiar faces can make you question everything. When your instincts tell you something's wrong, you should listen. I glanced at the clock. 6:45 p.m. Mark wasn't supposed to arrive until 7:30, giving me just enough time to clean up the living room. I grabbed stray coffee mugs and crumpled papers, tossing them in the sink. My phone buzzed on the counter. "On my way," Mark's message read. I rolled my eyes, chuckling. Typical Mark. Always early. Not 5 minutes later, a knock echoed from the front door. My heart skipped. That was quick. When I opened it, there he was. Mark, standing in the rain with his familiar grin, clutching a bag of snacks. "Got here a bit faster than I thought," he said, stepping in and shaking off his umbrella. I laughed, closing the door behind him. No kidding. Traffic must have been non-existent. We settled in the living room, chatting about work and plans. But as we talked, something felt different. Mark was unusually quiet, more interested in watching me and the movie I'd queued up. I caught him staring a few times, his expression unreadable. "You all right?" I asked, half joking. He smiled, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. "Yeah, just tired." My phone buzzed again, breaking the tension. I grabbed it absent-mindedly, expecting some spam notification. Instead, it was another text from Mark. "Running late. Be there in 15. I froze. My hand went cold, and I stared at the screen, rereading the message over and over. "Everything okay?" Mark's voice was calm, casual. I turned to him, swallowing hard. You just texted me." He tilted his head. "What are you talking about?" "My phone's in the car." I held up the screen, showing him the message. My hand trembled. "That's not possible," he said, his voice steady, but his expression blank. I forced a laugh, but my pulse raced. "Weird glitch or something," I muttered, setting the phone down. Mark didn't respond. Instead, he leaned back on the couch, watching me. His movements were too smooth, too calculated. I excused myself, retreating to the kitchen under the guise of grabbing drinks. My mind raced. I pulled up my phone and scrolled through my messages. The text was real, time-stamped only 5 minutes ago. My stomach dropped. My breaths quickened. I glanced back into the living room. Mark, or whoever was sitting on my couch, was staring directly at me, a small smile playing at the corners of his lips. "Everything okay?" he asked again, his voice low, almost teasing. I took a step back, gripping the counter behind me. "Who are you?" He stood up slowly, tilting his head in mock confusion. What kind of question is that? It's me, Mark. The air in the room grew heavy, suffocating. Then the knock came. I turned toward the door, my heart pounding. "Hey, sorry I'm late." Mark's voice, his unmistakable voice, called from outside. I spun back to the living room. The man on the couch was gone. The bag of snacks sat untouched where he'd been. The knocking grew louder. "You there? It's pouring out here." I stared at the door, unsure whether to open it. Behind me, in the silence, I heard a whisper.
"Don't let him in."
Trust is a fragile thing, and when it breaks, the cracks can reveal something far more terrifying. Sometimes, you're better off not knowing what waits on the other side.